9 young hikers walked into the Russian wilderness in 1959. They never walked out. What search teams found weeks later was so horrifying, so unexplainable, that even the Soviet government tried to cover it up. This is the real story of the Dyatlov Pass incident, a mystery buried under snow, soaked in blood, and whispered about for over 60 years. And what you're about to hear may haunt you forever. It began with adventure. On January 23, 1959, 10 experienced hikers from the Ural Polytechnical Institute set off on a skiing expedition through the Ural Mountains. Led by 23-year-old Igor Dyatlov, the group was well-trained, fit, and fully prepared for the harsh weather. The goal was to reach Otorten, a remote peak whose name means "don't go there" in the language of the local Mansai people. Only one hiker, Yuri Yudin, turned back early due to illness. That decision saved his life. The rest vanished. When the group missed their expected return date, rescue teams were sent. What they found didn't make sense. The group's tent was discovered on the side of a mountain, now known as Dyatlov Pass, slashed open from the inside. Their shoes, jackets, and supplies were still inside. But the hikers were gone. They had run into the freezing snow, barefoot. Temperatures dropped to -30 degrees Celsius that night. Death would come quickly. But what killed them wasn't just the cold. 2 bodies were found first, under a pine tree, almost naked. Their hands were bruised, fingertips shredded, as if they had tried to climb the tree in blind panic. 3 more were found next, scattered across the snow, frozen in positions that looked like they were crawling back to the tent. But it was the last 4 bodies that defied explanation. They were found 2 months later, in a ravine, partially buried in snow. One had her tongue ripped out, another had his skull crushed. 2 more had broken ribs, but no external injuries. It was as if something inside them had exploded. And there was one more detail. Traces of radiation were found on their clothing. The Soviet investigation ruled the deaths as caused by an unknown compelling force. Then they sealed the files. But the theories? They never stopped. Some believe the group was attacked by Soviet military or escaped prisoners. But there were no signs of struggle. No other footprints in the snow. Nothing stolen. Others say it was an avalanche. But if that's true, why were some of them upright and walking calmly when they died? And why was their tent slashed open from the inside, like they were trying to escape something they couldn't fight? Then, there's the stranger theory. Some say it was a paranormal encounter. Locals speak of strange lights in the sky that night. Glowing orbs hovering silently. Some claim the hikers were stalked by something inhuman, something ancient that lives in those frozen mountains. The Mansi tribe spoke of spirits, mountain demons, shapeshifters. One searcher reported that the bodies had an orange glow and the snow around them was discolored, almost like it had been burned without fire. Another search team member later confessed he felt he was being watched, followed. Every night they camped near the site. But watched by what? What makes this story so terrifying isn't just what we know, it's what we don't. Why did the group flee their shelter in freezing temperatures without shoes or clothes? What caused those brutal internal injuries? But no outer trauma. Why the radiation? Why the slashed tent? Why the silence? There was no struggle, no signs of life beyond theirs. Just tracks in the snow. That stopped, as if something snatched them up into the dark. Yuri Yudin, the one who turned back, said he believed something unnatural happened to his friends, something they were not supposed to see. He lived with that guilt until the day he died. Cue: unsettling ambient tones, visuals of the memorial site on the mountain. In the years since, hikers have returned to the pass. Some report hearing screams on the wind. Others feel a pressure in their chest, like the mountain is watching. And in 2019, 60 years later, the Russian government reopened the case and again blamed it on a natural cause. But the families of the victims don't believe it. Neither do many of the rescuers, because deep in the snowy silence of Dyatlov Pass, something unnatural happened. And whatever it was, it didn't leave a trace. It left a whisper and a scream that no one heard in time.